Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my channel, everybody. So, yay! I finally get to do a celebration card, and this is going to be in two parts, guys, because I don't want the videos to get too long. So this is video number 1, part 1, starting out with a whopper of a card here. So let me show you the products I'm using from the celebration. I am using this Flaight Airy DSP with the birds, and I've done fussy cutting. I've done a lot of prep work for this already, and then I think I'm going to use that wonderful hello that is in here too. Where is that? From the Heartfelt Hellos. So I think that is what I'm going to use on the inside. I'm going to set that aside, and I do have a couple of samples. Okay, this was my first sample. This, I think they're calling like a pop-up frame card. You can make it a floating frame. I am not. I'm just making it a frame. This is my very rough card. So you ready? So open, stands like this. It can be displayed just like that. And of course, this is our frame, our window into the other world here. So let me show. I did another sample. Now this one is going to Miss Cynthia. Please excuse me, Miss Cynthia Ford. This is for you. This is some of that DSP that you sent me as my wonderful gift. And so I thought I'm going to make you something special, and why not do this card? So here you have it, and there it is. Folds flat. You can peek in here. There's DSP here. There's DSP there. This cute, adorable hot air balloon on the back, of course. And this is already addressed to go to her. And then guess what, Cynthia? If you're watching, I cut you enough supplies in the brown envelope for you to make the card. It's using your DSP. So those are going to you, Miss Cynthia. So let's get started with this card. All right. So I don't want to show you guys all the DSP. I'm sure you guys have seen it. There's lots of videos out there. So I am using some of this DSP, some of this one, and then I went and fussy cut some of these birds, which I don't think we're going to be using on this card, but I fussy cut these little birds out. Let me show you. I have one already. Oops, that's the one we're going to work on for the inside. This one is done for the outside. So this is all fussy cut, and all this beautiful greenery, guys. I gotta show you what, it's kind of like a sneak peek into what I'm doing for February, because February stamp set and dies. Are you ready? I've showed you once, Notes of Nature. So we're getting a sneak peek because I'm going to use it. It came out so cool. It's what I used on Cynthia's card. These are the dies. I've used this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I didn't stamp any to go in here. I just did these greeneries. So, and we are going to be using this background, the little speckled ones, and maybe this one we'll have to see. I've got all of those mounted. I need to mount more. What else are we using? We're using the Deckled circle dies. I am really getting these. These are really getting a workout right now. They're kind of my favorite thing right now. So I'm using 4, 5, and 6 from the center. Oh, let's see what else. All right. So Miss Cynthia also sent me this one, and I think the Thinking of You, it is a beautiful, or Every Day is a Fresh Start. So I might be using one of these for the card, but I really think the hello, if it fits where I want it, we're going to be using that hello on the front. So I told you guys I'm splitting this up, and you probably see some stuff off to the side here, but we are going to start. There's my dies. Oh, so much stuff. So I've done a little bit of prep work. So my card base, to do my card like this, right, where the frame is on the inside. The reason why I chose that is if you did it on the front, you get this score line on the front, and you have to like piece DSP and make something up there. If you put it on the back, let me show you Miss Cynthia's. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for the back of the card. It just is. It just works that way. And so I'm really so pleased with it. And of course it opens up and is a beautiful little display. So my frame is on the inside. I think I'm going to try to work to make this frame a little smaller, but that's going to be another video. So let's get on with the card base. My card base is boho blue. It is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 1.5 and at 5.5, and I'm going to go over that with you. Layer number 1 for the card base. This is Fresh Freesia, and this is right here, 4 by 5 1/4. I brought in 3 colors. I think it's going to look really pretty together. So boho blue, Fresh Freesia, and bubble bath. So this one is done, but I'm going to walk you through how I do this. So DSP for layer for card base number 1 is 3 3/4 by 5. What I did is I cut half. This is 3 3/4 by 5, right? I cut off this off the bottom. I flipped it over and glued it to the top. And I also used a 3 3/4 by 5 piece of copy paper to just get it glued down to where I wanted it. So next we're going to do Deckled circle dies 6, 5, and 4. So this is Deckled die number 6. This is for the front of the card base. Deckled die number 5 for the front of the card base. Number 4 will be cut from, this is number 4's die. It will be cut from the frame, and hopefully we can use it on the front. If not, I've got a backup, but that's my goal. So I'm going to go over also what that's for the front of the card. I'm going to put, almost forgotten. I didn't write this one down. This is 1/4 inch. Let's see, you're going to need garden green. This is 1/4 inch by 3 3/4. I just haven't cut mine down, and this is this die. Now I'm going to tell you, cut your paper to the 1/2 inch first and then center this in the center, because I had a hard time doing it the other way. It doesn't cut this long rectangle out. It only cuts the circles, and it puts the little perforations in between them. So I'm left it long enough that I can get it on my card where I want it, and then I'll trim it down. So that's what that is. That's for the front. Now for our frame. So for our frame, we have our frame base. Where did we go? Frame base is 4 1/4 by 7, scored at 1.5 and 5.5, or 1.5 on one side and 1.5 on the other. It equals the same thing. You will trim this down before you put it inside the blue card. It needs to be shaved down just a hair. And I'll show you that when we get there. DSP number 1 for the outer part of the frame, which is the center. This is the DSP piece. It is 3 3/4 by 4. So while I stop to go to part 2, I will be gluing it and cutting, running it through the die cut machine to get that out. So behind the frame, this is another piece of the same DSP. This is all Flaight Airy. This is our picture for the inside of the frame. This is going to sit onto the back of the card base like so. This is where this piece is going to go. And I specifically cut this image of the bird out. So I have scraps paper, but I really wanted this as my focal point behind there. So DSP layer number 1 for the outer frame. We have the inner DSP. They're all 3 3/4 by 4. That's this one. So circle frame. Then I have, let me see, here is my circle frame. And that was simply using die number 6 and die number 4. Is that it? Nope, this one's it. So here you go. So this was in here. I used 6 and 4, and I made myself a Fresh Freesia frame. This is to go on the outer part of the frame, but that's already done for us. I need this little one, not that one. So that's done. That's done. You need to cut 2 right here. 3 3/4 by 4 of basic white. One is for the inside, one's for the outside. One is for the inside here, and one is for this back piece. And then I have 2 little 1/4 inch strips that were scrap that I cut them down. We're going to glue those onto there after we stamp it. That's a 1/4 inch. Fussy cut the birds. You already saw that I fussy cut them. I did this one for the inside of the card. Part 2 will be the frame and base. So let's get on with part 1, because I'm just trying not to have it go too long. So let's get this glued together. But before we go any further, we need to glue that green strip down that we have. And where is my glue bottle? I want my little one. I was using the Tombow when I was making the card, and it was aggravating me, the large bottle. I'm just so used to this. So I just, looking at it, I want to see where my little circles are. So that looks good. So I am literally going to put a line of glue above where they are joined, kind of a wavy line of glue, and a line of glue below. And then I'm going to get this right where I want it, hopefully, because I don't want the glue like scooted over some. Put my little dotted lines on my stitch. This is just a little, oops, that does need to come down just a hair. Let's see if I use the stitching lines there. It's just a little added, and it looks crookeder than crooked can be there. All right, there we go. Now we're going to trim it off. Trim it off. No dimensionals on this part of it. And then I'm going to glue it to its counterpart, which is the 4 by 5 1/4 of Fresh Freesia. And this one doesn't want to come out nicely to make, it wants to be dotted. It wants to make a big, big dotted X dash, 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 dash. All right. And glue on me. It's like, stop being so smart about it. I'm just being me. My husband and my grandson are out riding on the trail bikes. My husband's going to hurt. He took Tylenol before he goes. He's like, I need to get springs in a seat, a different seat. I am too old for this. So that's our front. Now our big deckled circle die is going to go right here. And we're going to go ahead and get this one glued down. I wish it would swirl. So this goes down next, right in the center. Next is my Fresh Freesia layer. And then the next circle that will go on there, hopefully will have the DSP, or I'm going to have to cut a piece of white, but I wanted the DSP. So this is the front panel done for the front of our card. We're going to set that aside. Next is the card base. I'm going to show you how to cut. Well, you already know how to cut it. It's at 4 1/4. It's this way. Hot dog style, portrait style. So we have that done. I'm going to give my little cutter my little trimmer cutter, whatever you guys want to call it. So I told you, you can do this at 1 1/2, 1, 2, and 3. Really well done, right? We want them really good, well scored, I should say, not good. And then at 5 1/2, 1, 2, and 3. So that is my card base. Now, I like to fold away from me, meet your edges together, hold and score. This little one, fold up. Okay, so this now, how am I, and goodness, I pre-scored it. Oh well, I have 2 score lines. One's the inside. We're going to pretend that one isn't there. So now the front of my card piece is going to go on there. And it's probably going to bug me. Do I have an extra piece cut? I do. That's going to bug me, guys. So we're going to redo it again. I forgot that I already had it scored. So you guys wanted to see it again, didn't you? Yeah, sure. Okay. So 1.5. You see the accidents happen. 1, 2, 3. Scooch it on down to 5.5. And make the same score line. 1, 2, and 3. Now there's nothing on that side. It's not there. If I could edit it out, would I don't know. You guys see me, I'm a real person. I am not a professional by any means. I am a crafter, and accidents happen. It's just cardstock. It's not like I did it in a gold bar. So this piece is where now we are going to glue this one to. Let's use that large bottle of Tombow, maybe, if it wants to work. It wasn't really happy with me. It says, because you never use me. It's because all the glue comes out and you get so sticky. So we got a squirrely X, circle, circle, circle. I should make a big smiley face one day on those. So this is the front of our card, right? Okay, so next I'm going to show you the frame base. This is going to go aside. We're not going to do any more with that for now. So now is our frame, and this is Bubble Bath. I took the colors from the back of the cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 7. So right here is 1.5. And I don't need to score 3 times because I already did. 1, 2, and 3. We'll pretend. Now you can scooch it down to 5.5 and score 1, 2, and 3. Or you can flip it out, turn it around, and score it at 1.5. It is the same. It is 1.5 on each end. That is totally up to you how you want to do that. So now we're going to score these really well. And I told you, you will need to trim. I think one side is all it needs trimming, and it's barely a hair to make it really fold. So this is the inside of my frame. You can see this, right? So next, we're going to put our DSP that's cut to be on our frame. And we want to make sure I get my circle, and I want that bird out of the picture. I just want the floral. I didn't want this side. I want this side. I want those big flowers in there. Yes, I want it all glued down. I could put that on the front and stamp on it. Okay, so we're just going to glue around the outside. And you'll see why in part 2, because this is where I'm going to stop it. Now, before I come back, where is my wee little die that I had? I'm going to be using that 4th little die, and it's going to be a little higher. It's not going to be in the center because I want it about right there. This is my washi tape, really old washi tape. The older, the better. And I'm going to die cut that out, and then we're going to use the circle and the Bubble Bath, I believe, on the other card. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and then I'm going to go die cut this, and I'm going to come back and record part 2. So thanks for watching. I hope you come back for the second half. Bye bye for now.